Welcome back, everybody. Making it simple here. Pastor Randy, great to be with you. We have reached the end. This is the final part of our study here. It's over. Or is it? We've been deeply looking at the understanding of Peter's heart and what's been going on inside. I've had some comments come back on this lesson, which I'm always glad to receive, from those who said, man, that is me. That is where I'm fighting at right now. This really speaks to me. And that's the intent of why I do Making It Simple. One of the things that's on my heart about teaching in this style is for far too long, these lessons and thoughts and what have you from the Bible have become far too complicated. And we've gone down this road. I shouldn't say we, many have gone down this road of trying to give you something that honestly you don't need. And when I say that, I'm talking about they're giving you the material from a educational, look at how much I know kind of perspective rather than what do you do with it? It's one thing to be able to give you the formula for whatever, nuclear fission or something. But if I can't explain to you how to use it, I'm doing you no good. And so here, the understanding of biblical lessonry is the fact that it is applicable. I can use this information. And understanding how to do that, to me, is vital. So we've been walking through this journey with Peter in particular. There are other components in this story, obviously, but we've been looking directly at him and because he's been wrestling with the fact that he made, in his estimation, the biggest mistake of all. He messed up beyond anything that he could ever repair. And while it's been made clear that he's restored in the eyes of Christ, as far as I'm loved, I'm not thrown away, what have you, he could not see how he could ever be of service again. He could not see how he could, in essence, forgive himself because he fell so far, at least in his mind. So we left yesterday, Jesus and Peter are having a conversation, and Jesus asked him, do you love me? We talked about how Peter's heart sunk at that question because his greatest fear internally was coming true. He really doesn't believe that I do. Jesus asked him, we read a second time after Peter's response, he says, you know that I do. Jesus asked him again, he said, do you love me? A second time. We can feel Peter's heart just nearly cinch at that moment, just stop. The feeling of, oh no, he still doesn't believe me. Peter responds immediately, you know that I love you, but inside what he's asking himself is, don't you? Don't you know that I love you? Now, mind you here, in the first conversation, Jesus said to him, feed my lambs. Peter didn't hear that. Second time, do you love me? Well, you know that I love you. Shepherd my sheep is Jesus' response. Feed, shepherd. Those sound like responsibilities, don't they? Those sound like areas of service. What we're finding here, friends, and I want you to see this, is can we see how Peter's doubt, his self-defeat, if you will, is not allowing him to hear what Jesus is presenting him? The beautiful moments of serving, the beautiful moments of being a part of what's going on. We read that now for a third time, Jesus says to Peter, do you love me? 3 times. Why is that important? Well, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Now he's been asked 3 times. But here's the thing, friends. This is not to show that Jesus is not sure. I want you to understand that. Jesus is not asking repetitively because he's not sure. But rather why he asks repetitively is because Peter is not sure. See, he needs Peter to see and to realize, wait a minute, it's not over. It's not over. He's actually opening a door for me. But Peter can't see it right that moment because we read that after this third time that Jesus has asked Peter, do you love me? It tells us that Peter was grieved. Feed my sheep, shepherd my sheep, feed my sheep. Peter is thinking, I truly have failed. He doesn't believe me. He keeps asking me the same question. He doesn't believe me. But it was Peter who didn't believe. I want you to hear that. It was Peter who didn't believe. He did not believe that he was able to receive what God was offering him. You see, friends, we so very often defeat ourselves. We're the ones who do that. We defeat ourselves. But Jesus is continually expressing to him and to everybody, that's not true. You did that, not me. I'm telling you, go do something. I'm giving you the assignment. Jesus had been telling them all along the importance of their mission, to go share the gospel, to go let people know. Along that, let me ask you this. Along that way, did Jesus forget? Did Jesus somehow overlook? Did Jesus forget that these ones that he's talking to were human? That they were flawed? That they have the probability and possibility of blowing it sometimes? What we need to understand is Peter was in his own way. The very same thing that we do to ourselves all the time. Jesus said, feed my lambs, shepherd my sheep. But Peter had convinced himself it was over. He couldn't possibly do that, so he didn't hear that. And we read lastly that Jesus said to him one more time, feed my sheep. What was he saying? What was he saying to Peter? He was saying this, I know you love me, and you know I love you. Now go get busy. Go get busy. You've got work to do. In other words, it's not over unless you give up and quit. Have I gone too far? Have I messed up that much? Not as long as you've got a breath in your body. Not as long as there's an hour left in this day, friends. It is not over unless you give up. We blind ourselves oftentimes to blessings. We blind ourselves to the blessing of life because we determine it can't be done. Jesus was calling from the shore and he said, friends. He said, friends, I've got fish on the fire. I'm ready to sit down and have a little talk. Let's get things in order. Let's get life moving. You've got things to do. That's his message to you today, friends. That is what he is saying to you today. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you willing to dive in? Are you willing to plunge in off the boat like Peter did? Are you ready to receive your assignment? Or are you determined to keep throwing your net on the wrong side of the boat? He's waiting on you. He's waiting on you. As they finished talking, Jesus simply told Peter, he said, follow me. Follow me. In other words, trust me. And together, we'll get there. It's over. Or is it? Well, that truly depends on you. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Lord willing, we'll start a brand new teaching tomorrow. Have a great day.